This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, pet lovers, and welcome to Best Bets for Pets. I'm your show host, Michelle Fern. So what do you do when you have a dog that chews up everything and just nothing satisfies him or her? My last fur babe that was into everything was a him, so I just go that way. Anyway, I have a great suggestion for you. My next guest, his company makes the most unique dog chews that will keep your dog entertained for a long, long time. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, Michelle Fern here. Natural Farm is the best place to go for collagen sticks and bully sticks and gullet sticks made with all natural ingredients, free from preservatives, artificial coloring, and chemicals. They have some great new products, such as stuffed collagen sticks in bully stick peanut butter and chicken flavor, power bully sticks made from beef cheek and pizzle, and of course their peanut butter flavored collagen sticks. Go to naturalfarmpet.com and use the code BESTBETS15 for 15% off store-wide.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to welcome Adam Baker. He is the owner of SodaPup. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. Thanks, Michelle.
So great to have you on again, because I know you were in Best Bets for Pets. It was quite a while ago. So for everyone who maybe hasn't heard of you before, SodaPup, where did you get that name? It's it's very cool, but I mean, I could guess, but
yeah. Well, so our first toy ever was a rubber treat dispenser and chew toy in the shape of a soda can. And we didn't want to call ourselves Can Toy or Soda Can, so we thought Soda Pup, and it stuck. So here we are, all these years later.
All these years later, with all these other brands under the SodaPup name and everything, and there you go. Well, you know, they say you never forget your first, right?
Right.
It's almost Friday. We need to have fun. I mean, it's hump day, but it's close enough. So I love it. SodaPup. Okay. So under SodaPup, there's a whole bunch of other brands. You have USA Canine, Mutt's Kick Butt, Industrial Dog, Spotnik, Dogtastic. You have a lot of different products like lick mats and chews and my new favorite that I saw at Global, the Honey Pot treat dispenser.
Yeah, that one's been incredibly popular.
Let's talk about that one before we get into some of your other treats. Let's talk about the brand newest one.
Sure. So the Honey Pot, we launched, I guess it was late last summer, and it is currently our number one SKU in the product line.
What is it?
So it's a rubber toy. It's a treat dispenser. It's not really designed for chewing, but it is an open-topped treat dispenser in the shape of a honey pot. So if you're a Winnie the Pooh fan, it bears a resemblance to the Winnie the Pooh type of honey pot. It's super cute, and you can fill it with moist ingredients or dry ingredients. You can put broths in there. You can pop it in the freezer, and it's a great way to feed your dog. It's a great way to give your dog snacks. So it's really an enrichment toy. And it's unique because it's got an open top. Most treat dispensers have smaller openings where your dog really has to work to get the contents out.
So why did you make it so easy for your dog?
It's not easy. It's just a different application. So if you think about like the full spectrum of enrichment products out there, on one end of the spectrum, you've got a slow feeder bowl, which is shallow and very wide. And on the other end of the spectrum, you've got, say, a rubber treat dispenser that has a small opening, and maybe it has teeth in the opening to keep treats from tumbling out, right? So your dog really has to work. And so the way we've been thinking about this is that there's a spectrum of products that we could create that provide different types of enrichment. And so this honey pot is, maybe to the right of a traditional treat dispenser and to the left of a traditional slow feeder bowl. And we have a lot of other products that fit within the spectrum. We've got lick mats, which are 8 inches in diameter, but very, very shallow. Like a quarter of an inch deep. And then we've got what we call eTrays. These are like shallow, slow feeder bowls, but they're only an inch tall, but they have complex patterns. So your dogs have to work to get the food, from these patterns. And so we view the honey pot as kind of occupying one spot on this progression of different types of enrichment products that provide different types of challenges. The reality is that dogs love variety just like we do. And so you really don't want to use the same device or the same lick mat or the same slow feeder bowl all the time. But if you have a number of products and you mix them up, so each day is different for your dog, that's actually more enriching, it's more engaging for them, it's more entertaining for them as well. Yeah, the honey pot is used differently than a traditional treat dispenser. For example, we have a treat dispenser in the shape of an ice cream cone. And the opening on that has teeth in it, and you can put dry kibble in there, and your dog can roll it around and try to get the kibble out. And it's really challenging.
Let me ask you this.
Yep.
So I get the honey pot treat dispenser and that it is, a different type of, as you said, an enrichment for your dog. It's a little bit of a challenge.
But you're not going to put kibble in it necessarily. You're going to put wet foods in there.
Right.
It's very, very popular with people that feed raw, as an example.
Right.
Very popular.
By challenging your dog with different types of toys and different types of things, like you said, it keeps your dog challenged, less bored, and less boredom leads to, less bad behavior, usually. So is it kind of like, in a sense, when you buy all the toys and you leave them all out and then they play with them all and they get bored, where you should only bring out a couple at a time? Yeah,
absolutely. It's better to keep all the toys hidden away and then give your dog one toy at a time.
Right, not to overwhelm. So honey pot treat dispenser is a lot different than, say, let's talk about lick mats, because even though they've been out there for a while, not everybody knows about them or what they do or what the purpose is and how that enriches your dog and entertains your dog.
Yeah. So I think, the thing to point out is that dogs have natural foraging instincts, and they've evolved to develop these foraging instincts so that they could eat, so they could find food and survive. And, now when you feed a dog out of a bowl, it's somewhat unnatural, and they tend to eat too fast, which is not good for their gut health, and it doesn't engage their mind. And so the idea with all of these products, whether it's a honey pot or a lick mat or slow feedable or an eTray, these are all designed to engage your dog's mind, because it will lead to them being happier and more engaged. So lick mats. So we entered the lick mat market actually during the pandemic. And I did it out of a personal necessity, because I was working more from home and I had more, Zoom conference calls, and I needed to find a way to keep my black lab busy. He's a rescue and very needy. I had to keep him busy for a full 45-minute conference call. And so I actually bought existing products in the market, existing lick mats, and I tried them. And I pretty quickly identified the things that I liked and the things that I didn't like. And, what I didn't like was my dog could lick one clean in about 5.5 minutes. So it didn't get me through the Zoom call. And they were kind of flimsy and they didn't hold up well in the dishwasher and things like that. So we set out to build a better lick mat. And so ours tend to be 40 to 60% heavier than the competition. They have an array of different types of patterns. So the idea here is you smear soft food into the surface of the lick pad, and then your dog has to work to get the food out of the texture. And so what we've done is we have lots of different designs. And, they're really fun and compelling for the consumer who's buying them, but they also retain food better than most of the competition. And so we have different levels of difficulty. Some of our patterns are quite easy. So if your dog is not terribly food motivated, that would be a better choice. For my dog Buddy, the black lab, who devours everything, we developed a very, very difficult mat. It's called the Jigsaw, and it takes him a long time to get it clean. And he's very persistent because he's very, very food motivated. It's also, full disclosure, the Jigsaw is a little bit harder to clean as well, as you can imagine. So anyway, we have this whole range of lick mats that have varying degrees of difficulty, and you can match your dog's food drive with the correct pattern.
Let's talk about, you also have a lot of nylon chewables.
Yep, we have nylon chew toys.
The biggest thing complaints I hear about pet parents with nylon chewables is getting the right one so that their dog doesn't destroy it in minutes. and, in either like chew toys or nylon chewables or, because a lot of dogs just go through them. They're, the powerful jaws and they're just gone. What is the range of nylon chewables or chew toys that you have, and how do you select the right one for your dog?
Well, so I should first describe what our philosophy is, which is to think outside of the bone. Most nylon chew toys are bone shaped, which is fine, but dogs don't actually show a preference for bone shapes.
I have a question. So where did the bone shape come from?
Well, I think the people that designed the first products like this, and, I suspect it was a company like Nylabone, they just assumed that because dogs like bones, real bones, that they should design a dog toy in the shape of a bone.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
But that doesn't mean that a dog actually prefers a bone shape. And so our first philosophy with nylon toys is to think outside of the bone. So we do all kinds of shapes. We have lots of seasonal items like nylon Christmas trees and snowflakes and bats. And, we've got pipe wrench, nylon chew toys, all kinds of really, really fun shapes. And so it's entertaining for the customer as well as for the dog. So that's the first thing. The second thing we did was we asked ourselves, could we actually make our nylon chew toys do something more? And so we started designing a lot of nylon chew toys that had what we call treat pockets. So we put a texture into the surface of the design. So imagine we have a butterfly nylon chew toy, and the pattern of the butterfly's wings, if you imagine like a monarch butterfly, that pattern is recessed in the toy. And so it's not only a chew toy for your dog, but you can actually smear, pumpkin puree or Greek yogurt or something into the wings so that it's also doubling as a licking product. So our nylon toys are really very, very different.
Multi-purpose.
Yeah, multi-purpose. We're trying to make people's dollars go farther and make a toy do more than just one thing. In terms of, the material, we engineer our nylon material to be softer than a dog's teeth. So in a battle between a dog's chewing and the material, we want the material to lose the war so that your dog doesn't break his teeth. So it is engineered to give way at a certain bite force. And so, what a lot of people don't understand about nylon toys is that they're actually designed to wear down, which is how you make them safe for dogs. They're actually safer than a real bone because real bones, if you give your dog a beef bone of some sort, that's made from calcium. It's the same material as your dog's teeth. So a nylon toy is actually just a little bit softer. So they do wear down over time.
That's good to know. And I'm not going to go into details, but I did have a dog that cracked her tooth on a hoof. So
yeah,
that's happened. And the doggy dentist, that time, the only one was in Beverly Hills. I lived in Los Angeles, not cheap. And it would probably cost thousands now. This was many years ago. But yeah, so that's a good idea with the nylon chewables. How do you choose the best toy for your dog?
In terms of nylon toys or any toy in general?
Your toy. So someone's looking at your website. Mm-hmm. Then after that, the break, I want to know your favorite one. So how does someone choose the best toy? Or let's say the best chew toy, because that seems to be a challenge for a lot of pet parents. They'll sometimes get something that's, too soft. Sometimes, it looks so cute and their dog destroys it in a minute. So from your toys, from all the SodaPup toys, what is the best way for a pet parent to select the best chew toy?
Well, I think first we have to recognize that dogs are different, just like people are different. And dogs actually have preferences. So, for example, I've got 3 dogs. One of my dogs is crazy for rubber toys and will chew and chew and chew and chew on a rubber toy, but won't touch a nylon toy. They have no interest at all. I have another dog that's just a nylon dog. Doesn't really have any interest in rubber toys unless there's a treat hiding inside, but otherwise could care less. And then I got a third dog who doesn't play with any of my toys, which is really kind of a bummer for me since I make dog toys for a living and he doesn't play with any of them. But every dog is different. So, sometimes you just have to, sometimes it's trial by error. Get your dog a toy and see if he likes it or not. And then whether they like that toy type or not. The second thing is you have to make sure you buy the right size. So, with a rubber toy in particular, there are 3 things that really impact the durability of the toy. There's the material itself. There's the chewing behavior of the dog. And then there's the design of the toy. And so even the best designed toy isn't going to hold up to a dog if you buy the wrong size. So you really have to make sure that you're buying the right size toy for your dog. And what I mean by that is, what dogs do with rubber toys is they get them in their back teeth where they have a lot of leverage, and then they can saw through the toy. So if you have a big dog and you give them a small toy, they're going to go right through it. But if you give them the appropriate size toy, they can't get it into their back teeth because it's too big. And so they're forced to chew on it in other ways, but not in ways that would allow them to tear it apart. So, so I think you have to figure out whether your dog likes nylon or whether they prefer rubber or plush or, dog toys. And then it just takes a little trial and error. You're never going to get it right every time.
Right. And we have to step away for a minute for break, but I have a question I'm going to ask as soon as we get back. So we'll be right back after this break.
How many of you have pets? My hand's raised. Now think about how lucky you are to have such a sweet little pet in your life, and that pet is lucky to have you too. But unfortunately, there are countless pets out there that don't have a home to call their own. However, Bob's from Skechers is trying to change that. So we developed Bob's for dogs and cats to help pets in need. With every purchase of adorable Bob's footwear or fun, stylish apparel, or even the cutest Bob's pet accessories, Skechers makes a donation to Petco Love to help save shelter pets. And with your help, we've already saved the lives of over 1 million pets and raised over $7 million. So while you're getting style and comfort with features like Skechers' famous memory foam cushioning, you're also helping to save an adorable pet in need and helping another lucky owner be connected with a future best friend and companion, because happiness is having a loving pet by your side. Find Bob's at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, select Petco locations, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking to Adam Baker, the owner of SodaPup, and we're talking about dog toys. And you said choose the right one. So obviously, are your toys organized by weight, or is that a good guide to go by? Because, you're not going to have a lab that weighs, unless it's a mix, but even still, that weighs, 12 pounds. That's not going to happen. Just the same as you're not going to have a Chihuahua that's 40 pounds. So size is one thing, I'm sure, or maybe the main thing, because that's how big their jaw is. There's no alligator dogs out there, that are just small with huge mouths.
Right. So, the way we've organized our website, for example, you can sort toys a variety of different ways. But I think what most people do is they choose whether they're looking for like a rubber chew toy or, in a treat dispenser, or whether they're looking for a nylon bone-like chew toy. So I think the first consideration is, what type of toy are they after? And then once they decide that, then they go in and they, on any given product, they're looking for the right size. That's typically the thought process for buying a toy. And, there are lots of other toys out there that we don't make. So, for example, we don't make plush toys. And the reason we don't make plush toys is because we produce everything in the United States, which we're very committed to. And it's very difficult to make plush toys in the United States at a price that people are willing to pay. And plush toys, we stand for durability. The reality is plush toys get destroyed pretty quickly. And their whole business is built around that. Buy your dog a stuffed toy, he destroys it in 5 minutes, and you get him a new one the next week. But that's not what we're about. We're about durability.
That's good to hear, because it's up there on the list of most of the emails I get are, what's the best toy? My dog chews through everything, blah, blah, that kind of, those kind of emails. What is the best thing? What can I do? And all that. And plush toys can definitely be a challenge for bigger dogs. You talked about your dogs and the different toys. What is your favorite toy for them?
My favorite toy, everybody has different, it depends on the type. Like my favorite nylon toy is the butterfly toy, just because I think I really love the design and I love the enrichment capabilities of that particular product. And it's quite popular. So I like that we sell a lot of it. On the rubber side, I would have to say that my favorite is, we did a surfing van, and it's my personal favorite, but it's not a top seller for us. It does reasonably well, but it's not like one of the best designs we have. So my tastes don't always align with my customers' tastes. And then on the enrichment side, we have, it's an eTray. It's a shallow, slow feeder bowl. It's called the Mandala. and it looks like a flower. And that's a great, great design for us. But mainly because I think it hits the mark of who our consumer is and it resonates with her. She finds it attractive and it works really well for her dog.
Let's talk. Thanks for that. Let's talk also about giving back, because your company does do that. Tell us about how you give back.
So this is probably true for many pet company owners. We're bombarded with requests for donations to a variety of things, whether it's shelters and humane societies doing fundraisers or dock diving competitions, and the list goes on and on. So we very specifically give to two types of organizations. We give to 501c3 nonprofit animal shelters. So, these are nonprofit organizations that are all about animal welfare. So we give to those. And we do it in a number of ways. We donate first quality product for, raffle prizes and gift baskets and things like that. And then we also donate product to be used in the facility itself. So one of the things we do with cosmetic seconds, so part of the manufacturing process, not everything comes out perfectly the way you want. So we can't sell that product. So we collect it and box it up and then donate those boxes of cosmetic seconds to humane societies all across the country. And then the other thing that we donate to, so I'm a veteran. My first career was actually in the Coast Guard, and we're committed to working with professional canine handlers. So every year we do big donations to an organization called MWDTSA, Military Working Dog Team Support Association. And every dog handler in the U.S. military gets one of our toys every Christmas.
That's wonderful that you do all that. And I'm sure it's greatly appreciated. Okay, let me ask you this, and then we could go into, you can let everybody know where they could buy SodaPup toys. Is there anything that you wanted to mention that we didn't get a chance to?
Well, I would just say that I think in the United States, enrichment products like eMats and slow feeder bowls, that's a relatively new concept here in the United States. It's growing quickly, but we sell our products all around the world, and enrichment is it's crazy in other parts of the world. So I would encourage your listeners, if you don't know about enrichment, that you investigate it. And one of the easy ways to investigate it is like on Instagram, just type in dog enrichment or canine enrichment. You could go to our Instagram feed at SodaPup Dog Toys, and you can see what people are doing. It's pretty stunning. And it's so good for your dog. So that's what I want people to know, that enrichment is more and more understood in the United States. And I encourage people to do it with their pets. Cats too, by the way, not just dogs.
Yeah, we got to catch up. It almost seems like even with adults, with humans, they say the more you use your mind, the more active you are with your brain, the better you are as you age. We're different than four-leggers, but still, the more engaged your dog is, the better.
For sure.
They're entertained, their well-being is better. It just totally makes sense.
And they're better behaved. If it's a happy dog and an engaged dog, then they just behave better as well.
Right. And, I just want to add to that, being engaged, it's great when you have, and you had mentioned this when you had to keep your dog busy during a meeting. It's great when you can engage with your fur babe. That's always great. But sometimes the dogs just want to do engagement on their own. They want to try to figure stuff out.
Yep.
So what you were just explaining about, that's truly important. Where can people buy SodaPup products?
Well, I encourage you to shop from your local independent pet retailer. We sell to many, many retailers like that across the country. You can also go to our website, sodapup.com, SODAPUP.com. You can buy through chewy.com. You can buy on Amazon.com. The pricing is going to be the same everywhere. We work very hard to maintain price on all the different platforms. But you won't have any trouble finding our products.
Well, that's good to know. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on Best Bets for Pets and telling us all about SodaPup products and then all of the great types of products you have and all that you'd give back. So thank you so much for coming on Best Bets.
Michelle, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
I hope you all enjoyed that. And if you've never purchased the type of, treat for your dog or toy for your dog that's an enrichment type of toy, go check out SodaPup petlife.com. They have some great products online, and it really does engage your dog and keep them just entertained, great products. I want to thank my guest, of course, for coming on Best Bets for Pets. Thanks to Adam Baker of SodaPup for coming on Best Bets for Pets. Thanks to Mr. Nicky and my nephew dog Cooper, who is he's a Black Lab mix rescue with a lot of energy. He's a little pup. Well, not that little. He's, probably like 50-something pounds. A lot of energy and has a lot of fun engaging with SodaPup toys and chews and enrichment toys. And also, of course, I want to thank everyone listening to Best Bets for Pets. I so appreciate it. And thank you, of course, to Mark Winter for making me and my guests sound great. So remember, keep listening. You never know what we're going to have next on Best Bets for Pets.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.